Hello and welcome. In this video, I'm going to teach you how you can utilize a quick method of using the combination of videos from YouTube plus Canva and CapCut for a limited amount of time to create a fantastic YouTube short. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Now, the video that we're going to take in this case is going to be Kevin O'Leary, a financial advice. All right, so this is a video that I've searched about because I was watching Shark Tank just a couple of minutes ago. And so this guy is an entrepreneur who needs no introduction. So he's also basically operating in the finance niche. And so how things go, well, you pick a video where you want to take a recording, but first of all, click on that video. And in order for you to know what are the parts of that video that might go viral, YouTube has made it possible ever since I think they created the shorts. Now, someone can correct me on this, but no, not this. But when they launched basically the YouTube Shorts, they enabled these graphs, right? So they're showing the most replayed, and for instance here, the most replayed are these parts. And so in our case, from minute 230 to 302 or 305. That is potentially a viral part, okay? And another thing is that you can actually go ahead and even take multiple recordings. So what I would recommend right now is that you go ahead and take a screen recording of him talking. And of course, what we can do is we can fix a lot of other things later in Canva. So let's get right into it. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and pause. I'm going to take a recording of this guy, and I'll see you when I'm done. All right. So this is the clip, and I've taken a screen recording of this. Now here, if you're using a software such as Camtasia, you'll be able to see when the video starts and when it's not, and when there is nothing, right? So basically, I want to push this the moment he starts talking, and I'm going to click to cut. Now, this is like cutting through butter. And so I'm going to cut this part and click enter. Then I can move this part slightly here. So it's just a very simple way. Then I would move and basically keep moving until I see that I should just stop. All right. I think now I'm going to listen to it. There is a music that plays in the background. It's not my music. So just for fair use, it's the music of a YouTube video. Let's play it quick.
The one that I've got involved in and I've heavily invested in is called Beanstox, Beanstox. Try that one. If you don't like that one, try something else.
All right, so I'm going to pause at this moment, okay? And then I'm going to delete the rest. Now, this is 50 seconds of him talking. Now, obviously, we're not going to steal the parts where they have this stuff that they obviously made themselves. Everything here was made by them, but I can show you how we can actually edit most of this stuff with some advanced tips in CapCut. So, and I know I promised that we're going to use Canva, but we're also going to use CapCut. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to export this because inside of CapCut, we're going to eliminate any music. So I'm going to go forward, MP4, next. Then right here, I'm going to say Kevin O'Leary advice and hit enter. It doesn't take a long time to render a short video. In the meantime, what you need to do is you need to go to canva.com and we need to go forward and create a file or create a project, 9 by 16 inches video project. Because what we're intending to do is for all those 50 seconds where Kevin is talking, we want to generate some stock video that goes along with the clip. Okay, so let's just go ahead and do it. All right, so here I'm going to click to create a design. And basically, I'm going to wait a second. What we need to choose is basically a YouTube Shorts, or you can just search Shorts. I should have just searched for Shorts. There you go. And after I search for Shorts, it's going to show us this. And what we need to do, we need to go ahead and name this. stock video for the Kevin clip or for the Kevin TikTok short, however you like to name it. And so I'm going to name it stock video for Kevin short. Okay, and basically just going to click and wait. All right. Now what I'm intending to do is just create a stock video, right? But I need the audio first of all before I can do this. In the meantime, I'm going to open up CapCut, because inside of CapCut, we're going to eliminate the music. And that's the advantage of using CapCut, is that you can actually extract music from audio. That way, you don't have any copyright issues, because this video was created by CNBC. So we don't want to get into trouble with CNBC. And to be honest, I'd recommend that you don't even use their video. You can actually take another video where Kevin is talking. But if you do it, and if you do use their video, you could be surgical about it. You could actually be surgical about it, eliminate the music, eliminate any trace that video might have been taken from CNBC by editing the video in a way that makes it seem completely different than the original. And I can show you that with the help of some things such as the background remover option, some fantastic things, you'll be really surprised how good they are. Now I'm going to go ahead and open up CapCut, because the first surgical thing that we're going to do is that we're going to take the audio out of the clip. All right, so I'm going to create a new project, and what we need to do is to basically upload the video. All right. Now we're going to upload the video so that we can take, like I said, the music out of it. What is important to us is that we keep Kevin's face for a couple of seconds at least. But we're going to do a thing where we're going to eliminate the background from when Kevin is talking, which is an interesting thing because we can put some money behind him in the background. So I'm going to go ahead and click Kevin O'Leary advice. And then right here, what we're going to do is we're going to drag and drop this like so. All right. And then what we're going to do as well is we're going to use this option to switch the size of the video to a 9 by 16 inches instead of what it is now, which is 16 by 9 inches. So obviously we want it at 9 by 16. Okay, so let's just wait a second. Then here you can click on this button that says ratio, and from here we can actually switch the size. So if I click, I can switch the size to a 9 by 16. As you can see, it's currently doing it right now. What we're mostly interested with is not the footage behind Kevin, but it's mostly Kevin himself. So we're going to, first of all, increase the size where he's appearing like this. I'm not going to keep the background, but now what we're interested with is to extract the audio out of this, and to also make sure we click on that audio. Here, we have the option to basically extract the music from the audio. So I should click from here, I guess. Vocal isolation, keep vocal, which means that it's basically now isolating voice from music. It's at 10%. So let's just wait a second until it finishes or does the job. And then I'll show you a trick of how you can export audio alone without having to export the music or the video. All right, perfect. Now here, I think there's a slight gap where there was nothing or nothing was said. And you can see it here clearly. So what we can do is we can push this needle at that time. And we can just make sure that from at the time they start showing that, we can select everything like so, and we can cut, and you can see how surgical we are about it. And then we can actually zoom out so that we can see more detail, because when you zoom in, you will see less detail. When you zoom out, you'll see more detail. So I'm going to push this right there, then I'm going to zoom in, but I'm basically going to make sure this is right here. Then I'm going to select, and I'm going to cut. And after we cut, I need to zoom out and basically eliminate the excess. But first, before eliminating any excess, what I want to do is I want to make sure that I keep the magnet on. So now if I click eliminate, what happens is that the clip has been pushed, but the audio is still there. So we need to push it like so, and it needs to be attached to the other one. So we need to make sure of that by zooming in, just to see if they're not just, you know, in the same line. They have to be attached in this sense. So I should just select everything like this and actually group, or create a compound clip, but I'm just going to group. And once you actually group, we can edit. Now I think that when you group, the problem that happens here is that the audio has now been isolated. I'm going to create a compound clip so that I can edit their audio at the same time. So I'm just going to increase the audio to about maybe 7 decibels, close 7 or 8, I don't mind. I can actually just set it from here directly, and I can actually zoom out. Now we have an option here which is enhanced voice. It's a pro option that you can actually utilize. I'm going to do it because I have the pro plan, so I can do it. And what I'm interested with is to just import the audio so that I can work on it slightly quickly in Canva, and then come back over here to finish the job. All right, so the voice has been enhanced. So now there is an option here. If you click export, I'm not sure if this is going to work. If it doesn't work, I'm going to pull off another thing. But here you can actually scroll down and you can export the audio alone, right, as an MP4, okay, or as an MP3. I'm not sure if it's going to work. I'm going to remove video, only going to keep the audio. And here I can import this as an MP3 since it's an audio. You can import it in different files. And we can check for copyright, but that only works if it's over 1 minute. But obviously we remove the music, so there should be no worry. And we can just say Kevin talking, you know. This is an audio of Kevin talking. So we can just export the audio part. That's extremely easy. And after you export the audio part, now we're going to be left with the audio. So I can just click OK because audio has been exported. Then I can go back to my Canva file. Now here I'm going to go to the upload section. Then I'm going to click on upload files. And basically when we're uploading, we're just going to upload the audio since that is exactly what we're going to use. So the audio's name is Kevin talking. And there it is. I can select it and you can see that it just uploads it. So I'm going to upload the audio, but first of all, audio is 47 seconds. So you have to make sure you click right here and turn this to 47 seconds. If you don't see the duration, that's maybe because you haven't clicked on duration below. So make sure you click duration so that you can see the duration, and then you click here. Change this to even 48 or 50, whatever it is that you want to do. But it should be more than 47. Now once you do this, move the needle at the beginning, then click on your audio. It's immediately going to import, and then you can start working on it. So I can just start listening.
The biggest money mistake people make today is they don't.
Right. The biggest money mistake. So I'm going to split it that part, and I'm just going to take notes, right? So I'm going to take a note. I'm going to put a note here that says mistake, which means I should go later and find a mistake footage. Mistake, okay? Right, so that's that. And then I can move this right here, and I can keep moving.
Put aside at least $100 a week towards their retirement. That's the minimum number you have to apply. If you...
All right, so here I'm going to split. Here we can put another scene, which basically is a scene about saving. So I'm going to add a heading that just simply says saving, right? Saving money. So here I'm going to put the needle in here and keep listening.
And believe me, everybody can save $100 a week. If you've got a job and you're getting paid only $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, don't spend on something.
All right, so here at this point, I'm going to move back and then split because he's talking about saving still, and then he's going to start talking about spending. Here I'm going to put saving again as the clip, but obviously we're going to use a different stock video for saving this time, just to diversify. Then we can move in slightly. He's going to start. Let me pause. He's going to start talking about spending now.
Something you don't need. Put aside $100 a week.
Okay, so I'm going to split at this point. Here we want to emphasize on the fact spending is not really good. Spending money. Right? Well, spending is good, but spending a lot is bad. So here, spending, and then we move.
I'm big on this financial literacy. We teach everybody everything in high school. We don't teach them how to invest. The way to invest.
All right. So here I'm going to split. And then here he's talking about financial education. So I'm going to just write financial education. All right. Then I'm going to move this slightly over here and keep moving.
$100 a week and put it to work. There's all kinds of apps out there that help you do it right on your phone. The one that I've got involved in.
All right, so investing, and then he talks about an app. So basically what I'm going to do here, I'm going to put investing as the note. And here I'm going to put app as the note. Right. All right, so now is the time we need to go and actually, so the first one is mistake. I know you can't see it, but you can just select the text and make it bigger in case you can't see clearly. But this is mistake. So I'm going to remove that text, and then we're going to go and look in elements for a footage about a mistake. Mistake, okay? So here, let's just search for mistake. This scene is 4.6 seconds, so we have to find a scene and we have to get it down to 4.6 seconds. So here, you have a bunch of people, and I like this one. So I'm going to go ahead and click. So this should be at 4.6 seconds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it. I'm going to click right here on the duration, and I'm going to turn it to 4.6 seconds. But it's going to be more than 4.6 seconds. The reason why is because we're going to add a transition. So I'm going to make it about 5.1 because transition takes 0.5. So I'm going to go and click done. And then I'm going to right click. And basically, I'm going to set the video to the background. And make sure that he's appearing in the video clearly with his phone. Now, the second one, or the second scene, is basically a spending money scene. Like I said, you can increase to see. So we're going to go ahead and look for someone spending money. And we have a bunch of people spending money. So basically here, I think this one is great. And so I'm going to click this scene. Well, actually, I'm sorry, it's not the case. I've clicked on the wrong scene. This is about saving money. Saving money. I was misled into clicking on the wrong scene. So saving. So first of all, get rid of this word. And then you can go ahead and take some scene where someone is saving. This one is great because there's that little piggy that is, it's a symbol of saving. And make our message very easy to basically communicate. And it should be about, if I'm correct, let's just go back for a second before I added it. It's 8.5, so I should make it 8.5. 8.5. You can go back and forth by using these arrows. So I'm going to click over here and make it 8.5, but not completely 8.5. I'm going to add another 0.5, which means 9. Because remember that we also have a transition that needs to happen. And we're going to add it. It's going to consume 0.5. Here's another instance where we should add saving. And this is 6.9 seconds in total. So we're going to go forward. And we're going to take, for instance, this particular one. This one is 7 seconds. It's not going to be enough. So obviously, I'm going to take something different. So I'll take this one, okay? This one is 18, right? So I'm going to click it, 6.9. What we're going to do is we're going to click on the edit section. I can actually double the speed because this is a big scene. And then we can make it 6.9. Plus, I'm going to add 0.5, which is going to make it 7.4. You get the point now. I'm going to click done. I'm going to right click. I'm going to set the video to the background. And then I'm going to have to double click to move this to the middle so that we can focus on that. All right, now this scene is about spending money. So now we're talking spending money. So basically we're going to go and look for someone spending money. So stock footage is or works like this. Now 4.4, which means 4.9 because we're going to add 0.5. So I'm going to set this video to the background, then I'm going to actually edit it, and I'm going to make sure that I increase the speed, 4.9, right? and then I'm going to click done. That's a fantastic scene because we doubled the speed. Now here we also have another instance. Now this is financial education 7.1, which is 7.6. So financial education, I'm going to look for that. And then in terms of videos, we can show some people, you know, studying financial or financial education. So this one is 11 seconds. Let's click it, but let's make sure that, now let me just go back for a second because 7.1, so 7.6. So I'm going to click, make this about 7.6, click done. And then we can right click and set the video to the background so that we can show the teacher teaching some financial stuff. There you go. That's great. So now let's move. There's only 2 scenes left. Investing. So let's just go ahead and search for investing. And basically, let's look for some investing scenes. 7.4. This one is 17. All right, so I'm going to actually click this one. It should be 7.9. So first of all, I'm going to click edit. I'm going to basically double the speed. And here, instead of 8.7, let's say 7.9, really. And I'm going to click done. Then I'm going to right click, set video to the background. And then I'm going to actually make sure I show the hand scrolling. Right? Now here, the final scene is basically this one, but it shouldn't be 10.7 seconds. I'll tell you what it should be. But first of all, now we can add the transition. So in between, if you hover, you can add a transition between the first 2 scenes. We can make it dissolve, 0.5, apply between all pages, and now you can see we've applied it. So now we can actually click here, and we can actually just reduce this scene to make the clip about 0.47 seconds in total, because that's what it should be. This is 7.8, so we can add 7.8. The transition is already applied. The scene is about an app. And so let's go and search for an app. All right, so app. Now here we have some apps, and I like this one because it's showing a person using an app. So I'm going to go ahead, set video to the background. And here, in terms of the speed, we can actually speed it up by about 1.5 or something like this. And then the rest, we can just go ahead and crop it. Not crop it entirely, but just crop enough of it. And now that we have our scenes, we can get rid of the audio. We don't need 2 audios. So I'm going to click on my audio because it was only used for guidance, and I'm going to click enter to delete it. Then I'm just going to go ahead and download this as a stock video. So I'm going to go and click download MP4. I'm going to download it as a quality, HD quality, and download. And in the meantime, I want you to go to CapCut. And I want you to go ahead and delete or mute the track. We don't need the track. We don't need to listen to it. We just need to go through the parts where Kevin is shown, where his face is shown. And the good news is we can also see them from here. So I'm going to go ahead and isolate those scenes where Kevin is talking. I don't want any other scene where he's not talking. Now let me zoom in. It seems that this, right, so at this point I'm going to click and then cut. I'm going to cut those stock videos that were made by CNBC. And only keep the stock videos, or only keep the parts where Kevin shows his face, because we want to show as much of him as possible. Now over here, I want to deactivate the magnet so that the clips don't snap, because if you click enter and delete this with the magnet off, this is not going to snap. But as soon as you activate the magnet, it's going to snap. So I'm going to go back like so, and then I'm going to just do like this. So this part, we can see him. I'm going to click, I'm going to cut, and I'm just trying to keep the parts where he's showing on camera so that we can use them. And I'll tell you exactly how we can make full use of them. So here, I'm going to go and cut this part as well. So just kind of trimming this down. And that's kind of what they did as well. So what they have done is pretty smart, actually. So this part is talking about an app. Let's cut that part as well. And then let's move him back when he's going to show the camera. And the goal is to obviously not make it look nothing like what they have shown in their video. So once you cut this, what you can do is, well, first of all, these two scenes, they're close. We can create a compound clip from them because they're close. These other ones, we can't because they're not close. So we're going to leave them exactly where they are. But here we have an option, which is to remove BG. So I'm going to go and use the auto removal option, which is going to remove the background off of this Kevin clip, right? So it's basically queued for processing. I don't know why it's queued for processing. It should actually do it. All right, so it's basically taking quite some time to apply. All right, so the auto removal has actually worked, and you can see that for the beginning, it has removed the background, but it's still working on the other parts. So it's now processing at about 10%. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the opportunity to click this one as well and click auto removal. And I'm going to click this one as well and then click auto removal. And I'm actually going to click this one as well and then check auto removal. So I'll just let these auto removals work. And once they're done, right? And we're going to have a clip with only Kevin, right? But the question is, we're going to have to find a background for that. So this scene is about 16 seconds. So we can go to canva.com. Now this one has been downloaded. I can go to the Canva homepage. And in the meantime, I'm going to close Camtasia because it's consuming a lot of space. And at the same time, I'm going to import the clip just so it's ready when we want to use it, right? That we find it's actually important that we find it in there. And basically, we just want to upload stock video, right? So we're going to put it here. And then we're going to go to canva.com. We're going to click on create a design, or we can simply in the stickers, I'm not sure if we're going to find some good stock footage. If we can't find it, then we're just going to go and import something from Canva. So basically, in terms of stickers, there could be some interesting stickers that we can put in the background of Kevin. And these stickers are basically money explosion. Right? There's money explosion. These are just some features. So take this opportunity to also learn some advanced tips and hacks. And you can see here that we have some pretty interesting scenes, but nothing like what we want. So I'm just going to close for a second and go back to Canva. So here I'm going to search for shorts as well. And this time around, we want a completely different stock footage. Now the cutout takes some time, so it's going to first of all cut this one out. Now this one I think has been completely done. This one, I think it's working on it. And it's going to work on the rest. So you have to give it some time because normally it takes that much. Because if you want to use a tool such as basically Runway ML, for example, it takes as much time, if not more, because there's a lot of work that you have to do in order to remove the background. So it's it's basically, let's just say, manual and automatic. But with CapCut, it's completely automatic. The only issue is you just have to wait a couple of minutes. So here in terms of elements, I can go and find money explosion, right? Or money something, money boom. Money explosion. Money explosion. Okay, and then here in terms of the videos, if we check them out, we're definitely going to find the video. So let's just go ahead over here to money explosion. Now I'm going to search for money falling. Yeah, we have some very interesting designs here. I think this is the one that I'm looking for. So I'm going to select it. And basically, this is the one I'd like to use. It's 27 seconds. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead. First of all, set this video to the background. Then I'm actually going to go ahead and edit it by increasing the video speed a bit, right, to 17 seconds. I think that's nice. And I'm just going to say money falling. We want to create that effect, illusion effect of Kevin having money in the background, which is different from what CNBC have got. So let's just download this at a very good quality, MP4, and then click the download button. right? Now, if I go back to CapCut, what we need to do right now is to select all of these, because we're going to have to put the background in the back or behind Kevin. So I'm going to select everything and move it to the top, because what we're going to do is we're going to put that stock footage behind Kevin. And not only behind him, we're also going to have to use this part. We're not going to use all of it, but I'm going to show you how you can trim it so that you can just put it here in these parts, these missing parts. It's a labor, but it's definitely a trick that you can actually pull off. And with these tactics that I'm teaching you, you can also, I'm pretty sure you've seen some people using these tactics to create some interesting effects in their backgrounds with transitions by making it seem like there is money behind them, right? And that's a beautiful effect. I do it all the time as well. All right, perfect. So here I'm going to go back and make sure the needle is at the beginning, and I'm going to click import, right? So once I do click import, I'm going to come over here to the downloads, and we're just going to go ahead and take the video of money falling. There it is. So once you pick the video of money falling, what I want to do is I want to drag it and drop it right here. But eventually I want to cut it at one part at the end. So here I'm going to click, and at this part I'm going to cut the excess like so, as you can see. Then I'm going to actually click and copy this and move back here and make sure the needle is there as well, and then click Control V so that it adds it right there. The needle has to be here, right? And so I'm just gonna go and leave a part here, but I'm gonna cut in between them like so. And I'm gonna go over here as well, and I'm gonna cut this half. And this part, we can use it here. And then we can just cut the excess. Perfect. So now if you look at Kevin, watch what happens. Now there's no audio playing because I've actually deactivated it. I can activate it anytime, but you can see him talking, and you can see there is a background behind him, which is nice. Now how about we give Kevin a makeup, or we do some makeup to Kevin. Now we can go to the adjustments section, and guess what? You can add a custom adjustment that you can put right here. We can cut it later. I'm going to apply it from here to here, and we're going to cut the parts that we don't need later. But we'd like to apply some makeup to Kevin so that we can, you know, just improve the makeup. So here in the adjustments section, basically you have the auto adjust option. You have a lot of options. And you also have these options, which are basically the adjustments. So I'm going to activate Protect Skin Tone. I'm also going to come over here and use the color correction. You don't necessarily have to do this. Now you can see that kind of corrects the colors, but I don't think it makes it any good. So I'm going to bring it back to normal. Let's just use color match instead. This one is also not that interesting. And let's use the auto adjust and increase the intensity of the auto adjust. Now the auto adjust is going to auto adjust the quality of the video, and I think that we've gave him a pretty good makeup. So we can go ahead and right now we can split those parts. Now I don't have to split this one. I can just select from this area and just bring it there, and then I'm going to do the same thing from here. And so we just want to make sure we apply those adjustments in the instances where Kevin's face is shown. Now I want to move the adjustment here as well. Okay, perfect. Now we have a fantastic clip of Kevin, but now what we need to do is we need to go to the final part, which is to add this particular part. So we're going to apply it on the entire clip, but we're going to cut the parts we don't need. So I'm going to cut this part, and then I'm going to move over here and basically cut this part and move over here, and then cut from here as well, and then move over here. So I'm just going to keep cutting until I cut all the parts that we don't really need. Cut, 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 until we just cut everything that we don't need, of course. So I'm going to cut this part as well. That's it. And so here, this part, the parts where Kevin is, we want to make sure that we remove those stock videos from the parts where Kevin is, because they're just gonna overshadow him. And then we want to move this to be at the same level with Kevin so that we can add a transition. So let's just put him here. And this final one, that's it. And as far as the final one is concerned, we have a part to trim. And of course here, I can activate the audio back. Right now I've basically activated it back. And then we can click at the end and fade the audio out at the end so that at the end there's a fade out effect. Then what we can do is we can go to the transitions option and we can add some transitions in between the scenes. So first of all, I think they're showing me something here. Let's just make sure that all of the scenes are connected to each other. Yes, they are. Let's zoom out. Now here, as far as the transition, it should be very simple. I'm just going to use a whoosh. We don't want to make it complex. Now don't get overwhelmed by all these transitions that you have. They might actually look very cool, but overusing transitions is going to show you as an amateur, and it's going to have the opposite effect that you're trying to achieve. So use effects only if necessary to convey a message. So I'm going to move this needle back at the very beginning, and that is pretty much that. So now we have the transitions, everything is set. Now we need some music. As far as the music is concerned, we can go to Google and we can actually search for a particular music. So we can just go over here, for instance, and search for, you know, some motivational music. Or let's just look for some, you know, let's just say fun music, because Kevin is talking and we know that Kevin is entertaining. But you can search fun music, Pixabay as well, add Pixabay. And you can also add no copyright, even though Pixabay always shows that there is no copyright. I can show you a quick hack on how to search, how to make sure that your clip or that your music is not copyright infringing using CapCut Pro. But wait a second until we download the music. So I'm just going to wait. Right, fun music, no copyright. What is going on with Pixabay here? I'm not sure. All right, so Pixabay is taking an eternity. I'm just going to rely on the audio from CapCut. So here we can just search for some fun audio. And in the music section, we can find some good music in CapCut as well. So here, exciting, cheerful, bright recorder, fun, heartwarming comedy. All right, jazz, maybe. Summer. Let's check this one out. All right, so I'm going to apply this music. I'm going to drag it here. And I'm going to go at the end of the music. But I'm not going to cut the entirety of the music now, because we want to check it for copyright. So first of all, what you need to do is you need to lower the volume of the music down. And I think we should add captions as well. So what I will be doing is I will actually be getting rid of this music for now. Let's add captions first, and then we're going to add the music. So first of all, go to captions, click on, select English as your primary language, generate the captions. I'll show you that you also need to make sure that you check the captions for any grammar mistakes, and you can simply edit that inside CapCut if you follow my advice. Now we're taking this slowly, but what you're going to learn here is going to allow you to create multiple videos of this quality. So it takes time to learn something at the beginning, but then you can use it for a prolonged period of time. So as you can see here, the captions have been added, and we're going to have to go and check the captions for any grammar mistakes by going to Captions. Now they're all selected, and if they get unselected, it's because you might click elsewhere. So if you click here, for example, they are unselected, and so you have to select all the captions again, like this, and make sure you read them. The biggest money mistake people make today is they don't put aside at least $100 a week towards their retirement. That's the minimum number you have to apply. If you do that, and believe me, everybody can save $100 a week. So here, instead of $100, we can say something like $100. 100 with the dollar symbol to shorten it. If you've got a job and you're getting paid only $30,000, 40,000, 50,000. Don't spend on something you don't need. Put aside $100 a week. I'm a big fan on this financial literacy. We teach everybody everything in high school. We don't teach them how to invest. Now, at the end of how to invest, maybe an exclamation point. The way to invest is to take $100 a week and put it to work. There's all kinds of apps out there that help you do it right on your phone that I've got involved in. Right on the phone that I've got involved in and I've been invested in. It's called Beanstocks. Right? Beanstocks. These ones, they're meaningless, okay? Because they're... So what I'm going to do, I'm going to eliminate them. Eliminate this one, but on this one, because he was spelling it beanstocks. All right, so like this. So I want to write it like this, beanstocks in one sentence. And then I want to go ahead and take this caption, increase the size of it so that it shows for a long time. Try that one. If you do, try something else. All right. So I'm going to select the captions right now and basically go to text, templates, and then you want to go over here inside of the templates. You want to go and find the caption suitable for this application. Now, in my case, I think this one is pretty nice. I will click it. Then I'll actually move the caption right at the top, and that is perfect. Okay, or move it to the middle, and then here all captions by default are going to be moved to the middle. If you moved one of them, but make sure that you've got all the captions selected when you move one. So now we can go back to our audio. We can take that music. I don't want to listen to it; just want to play it or drag it here. I want to decrease the volume a notch. And I want you to go and at the beginning fade in, fade out at the end. But make sure you click on export. And just pretend that you're going to export. Right? Just pretend if you have CapCut Pro. And then click check copyright. Obviously, because our music is spreading for more than 1 minute, it is going to check for copyright because it understands our rights. So this clip is more than 1 minute. We just tricked it to believe it. But what's more than 1 minute is only the music. The other elements are not more than 1 minute, but it's still checking for copyright. So eventually it's going to check. And by the way, sometimes I found that not every music here in CapCut is not copyright free. Right? So some of them are copyright infringing, but somehow they still leave them there for people to use. So you have to be very careful. Now they're saying here that sound copyright has passed, which means that we don't have a problem. So I'm going to put the needle here, a click, and I want you to use this option, delete right, to delete that right part. We don't want to watch this now. We just want to export it so that we can watch it. So once we export this video, we're going to watch it together. So in order to export, I'm going to make sure I unselect audio. This should be a video. I'm going to put it at a super resolution because I can. It's a pro option, 4K. In terms of quality. Actually, on second thought, when I did the super resolution, it basically eliminated the background removal effect. So here's what I'm going to do. I am not going to use it. I'm just going to use a normal resolution. And basically, I'm going to make it at 60 frames per second. Right here, I'm just going to say Kevin O'Leary YouTube short. Or let's just say financial advice. Saving advice. And then we can just click on export. Now the optical flow, I'm not really sure if that is gonna destroy the stuff, so I'm just gonna export. No need for any optical flow. And make sure that you don't deactivate any music. So now it's gonna work on it, and once this is ready, we can watch it together.
The biggest money mistake people make today is they don't put aside at least $100 a week towards their retirement. That's the minimum number you have to apply. If you do that, and believe me, everybody can save $100 a week. If you've got a job and you're getting paid only $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, don't spend on something you don't need. Put aside $100 a week. I'm big on this financial literacy. We teach everybody everything in high school. We don't teach them how to invest. The way to invest is to take $100 a week and put it to work. There's all kinds of apps out there that help you do it right on your phone. The one that I've got involved in and I've been heavily invested in is called Beanstocks, Beanstocks. Try that one. If you don't like that one, try something else.